single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day.
Let's talk. Welcome to my channel. My name is Toya, and today we got a lot to talk about. First of all, I just want to say thank you to all my new subscribers. I got 1,000 subscribers. And if you have not subscribed already, go ahead and hit that button so that you can be a part of this community, because we are building a community here, y'all. We are building a 600-pound life community. We're doing it. It's happening. So far, since I've been doing these videos, I've had contact through this channel with three of the cast members from 600 Pound Life. The first one was Destiny. I'll put a link down so you can see that. The second one was Tiffany. I'll put a link down so you can see that. And the third one, I haven't did a review on her yet, but I'm sure it's probably soon to come. But since I started doing this, what I wanted to do, I'm going to start a new series. It's going to be called Dear, and then whoever the cast member is. So the first one that I actually be up a little bit after this video is going to be called Dear LaShanta. And what it is, I want that to be a genuine, real, safe place that cast member can go to and get motivation, inspiration, encouragement, and just know like, oh, people out there do love me. Like, people out there are really rooting for me, because literally I can only imagine. You ever take a picture, right, or take a selfie and you don't like the angle and you're like, ooh, I don't like that. And take it again. But imagine your whole life being exposed in all the worst angles. And it's just, I can't imagine that. So I truly want this to be a safe place that should they find my channel or should they find the video, they could just really be uplifted and encouraged, know that they do have cheerleading section that's rooting for them and hoping the best for them in their journey. Now, the comment section, I let people say whatever they want in the comments. Everybody have the right to their own opinion, and whatever you say, I mean, sometimes I agree, sometimes I disagree, but I never censor the comments unless they just get profane or anything. But I'm begging, please, the Dear series, I want that to be a safe environment, meaning I want it to be constructive, uplifting, positive, beneficial, and motivating and inspiring. So if that's not for you, if you don't have anything that fits those qualifications, don't leave a comment, please. Because I just want them to be able to have a reference point and be able to go to that video if they need such inspiration, motivation. Next, stay tuned to the end of this video. I do have a surprise at the end of this video, and I know that it will put a smile on your face, and I hope that you enjoy it. So stay tuned for that. But let's jump in this video. Let's talk about LaShanta. Now, LaShanta is 39 years old from New Orleans. New Orleans, you heard me, eh? Ah, baby, that's my New Orleans accent. If you didn't know, make them say, let me stop. Talking about LaShanta. Now, this episode for me was very sobering. And I'll say it was very sobering because I just felt like she had a hard life from the beginning, which a lot of the people do. But I just really felt like, and I'll talk about it a little bit later, but I felt like she was not parented, if that makes sense. I just felt like she just had a hard life. And I'm not one that, make excuses like, pat on the back, because we do all still have to make our own choices. And I heard a fitness guy, he was talking, he was like, yeah, people blame their weight on their parents, but when you're a child, okay, but once you're an adult, the responsibility and onus is all up on you. And I agree with that. However, I do think that certain things can happen to you and set you on this path where it's just like a domino effect, and it's hard to break that cycle. So anyway, I felt like her episode was very sobering. It was, what's the word I want to look for? I just felt for her. I had been waiting on this episode actually since the beginning, because I felt like they put that trailer in of her from the beginning of the season, and I've been waiting. And once it came, I was like, I wasn't even ready for this. I just wasn't ready for this. But let's jump into the story. Let's get going. I'm going to try to do this quick. I'm trying to do this. Okay. I'm trying to do this. Try to do this whole thing, wrap it up in 5 minutes. Let's go. So LaShanta's 39, living in New Orleans. It started with her and her boyfriend laying in the bed. He all snuggled up and smushed up under her. I already said it in my mind. I'm not going to talk about TJ. I'm going to let y'all do it. I'm going to let whatever y'all want to say in the comments about TJ, I'm going to let y'all do it. But I had my own feelings toward TJ. And I'm going to just say, I'm going to let y'all speak about TJ. So, but I was mad though. Like, he wasn't just skinny. He was skinny. So I said I wasn't going to say nothing about him, but I mean, he has to be the classic feeder. Classic. Anyway, so it starts off there in the bed. He all hugged up, enjoying her. I will say, I do think he really did love her. I think. But he all hugged up under her, whatever. And it starts, and then he goes and get a pan for her to use the bathroom in because she's bedbound. She can't get up. Then he goes and gets a different basin, and that's pretty much how she showers out that basin. She gets dressed. He helps her get dressed. She lives with, it's her, TJ, the boyfriend, and 2 of her sons. And then after she's dressed, he goes and gets food and brings it to the bed, and she cooks food. That's how the episode started. And then her mother comes over, and that's a whole nother thing. Now, I'm not going to talk about nobody's mama because I don't want nobody to talk about my mama. But I will say I felt like her mother was not there for her the way that she needed her to be. I'll say that. I felt like the words that her mother used were harsh, and they weren't like tough love harsh. It was like borderline abusive.
I'm a bit concerned, you know. No mother do not like no big fat ass daughter.
I did feel like her mother was too much, but I'm not gonna talk. I'm definitely not gonna talk about nobody's mother because again, we only got a snippet of the story, and you know who knows all the backstory. So I do want to talk about her history. Now her parents were together until she was like 8 or 9, and then her dad was cheating. Her mom kicked him out, and that's the end of the story that we know about him. We didn't see or hear anything else about him. And the reason why I say that she didn't have parental, like she wasn't parenting much, she got pregnant at 13, had a baby at 14. Her mom said, that's your baby. You're going to take care of that baby yourself. So she dropped out of high school. She was in the 9th grade, dropped out of high school and had to take care of her baby. At 15, she moves out on her own with her baby at 15 and living on her own. She's got a job at a fast food restaurant, taking care of herself. Then at 17, she has another baby. And then pretty much it just seems like throughout her 20s, she's in and out of abusive relationships. By 27, she has 4 kids. And then I believe she had got up to like 450. Fast forward to 35. 35, I believe she said she topped 600 pounds. And then that's really when her mobility started, declining. And she tried for a couple years. She was on crutches. And then after that, she couldn't even get around the crutches. So she's pretty much since the beginning of the production of the show, she had been bedbound for like a little bit more than 2 years as far as we know. So then she meets Mr. TJ, the boyfriend in the beginning. And how she met him, I was just like, this was doomed from the very beginning. So she said she was going to the hospital. She was sick. I don't know about y'all, but anytime I've ever went to the hospital, I don't feel good. I don't look good. You sick. That's why you go to the hospital. But Mr. TJ was at the hospital, and he looked over and saw her on a stretcher, and it was love at first sight. And so they had their first day in her bed, watched movies, ate food, and then they were dating ever since. And then 6 months after that, he moved in and pretty much was her caretaker. Again, she had a lot of enablers around her kids, which I don't, it's only a level. I don't really blame kid enablers because they are the kids. They pretty much got to do what their parents say. They feel some type of way. So I don't really blame the kids, but TJ, and she had neighbors across the street. It was high, but let's just keep this story moving. So she decides that she needs to go see Dr.Now. So she got a neighbor to drive her and TJ in the back, her boyfriend in the back of the van going. It's a 5-hour drive, and he all snuggled up with her, all cuddled in up under her. I'm just like, this guy. Again, let me stop talking about TJ because I don't know the backstory and I don't know. So they get to Dr. Now's office. They weigh her in. She is 6'62" and she's 5'2". And she was very enthusiastic. She was very, optimistic. She was very optimistic and like, just like, okay, I'm ready to change my life, Dr. Now. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so glad to be here. I know I need to change my life. Like, I'm ready to do this. I'm gonna do whatever you tell me to do. That's what I'm gonna do. And Dr. Now was like, okay. You know, you say you ready to do this. This is not going to be easy. It's not going to be up to me. It's going to be up to you. He's like, but if you're serious about this program and you serious about this, you know what he told her? 1,200 calories, high protein, low carb. He's like, you're going to have to move out here. You're going to have to see a therapist. He's like, I want you to lose 50 pounds in a month. And then that's going to prove to me that you're serious. Come back and we'll take it from there. So that was month 1. Next thing, she goes home and I see her cooking. I'm like, this ain't happening. This ain't starting good. So she's like, well, I got to keep cooking for everybody else. I would feel bad if I deprived them. We are fighting for your life. They can fend for their stuff. They will figure it out. Trust me. They would have figured it out. But anyway. So, but as she's cooking for them, it shows her like kind of sneaking and hiding food in her bed. So I'm like, this ain't going good. Meanwhile, her and TJ kind of getting into it because he getting upset because he sees she is trying and she is losing some weight. So he gets intimidated and upset about that and his role. And next thing we know, month 3, they break up. So she was supposed to go back and see Dr. Now and she didn't. She called Dr. Now. You know, the last thing Dr. Now want to do is hear excuses. He don't care if somebody in your family passed. He will tell you, well, that's part of life. Condolences. I'm sorry, but you still got to move on and you can't use that because it's always going to be something and you got to move on. I'm not taking no excuses. So he told her that. He was like, I'm sorry for that, but it's no excuses. Like, this is what happened to all of that you was talking to me. What happened to all of that stuff you was saying? To me, it sounded like he was kind of giving her a pep talk. Like, you told me you was going to do this. You told me you was going to do that. You said you was ready to change. You was ready to make the commitment. You was going to do whatever you said. Now what? Now you ain't ready. You ain't doing that no more. So she was like, you know what? I got to be honest. I was cheating. I fell off. I let this get to me. You right. I got to get back on the Dr. Now. I'm going to do right. I'm going to get on it. I'm going to get down there. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to find out how it's going to happen. I'm going to do better. Promise. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you, Dr. Now. Like, she kept on saying, like, I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to prove it to you. And Dr. Now over here, like, well, if you want to do something, what you need to do is do what I told you to do. He like, you're 5'2" and almost 700 pounds. This is your last chance. He's like, there's no more chances. This is it. We are at the bottom of the tip. There's nowhere else for us to go. So she's like, okay, Dr. Now, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So then at month 6, she calls like, hey, I've been making progress. I've been doing good. I want to come in. So the ambulance, thank you, my 600-pound life. The medical transportation, the ambulance comes and gets her and transports her and takes her to the office, to Dr. Now's office, the hospital rather. Now he's out there waiting. And when she is coming out there, he already knew what time it was. He looked at her and he was like, this don't look good. He was like, she looks bigger. He was like, I can smell her. He's like, he was concerned because after TJ left, maybe her hygiene hadn't been kept up and maybe she just gave up altogether. Sure enough, they go in, they weigh her. She's gained like 27, 28 pounds. And he's like, seriously, what are you doing? She had moved out there at this point. At the 6 months mark, she actually moved in. And she's like, well, I moved here. I'm trying to prove to you I'm serious. He's like, if you were serious, you would have did what I told you to do. You done had 6 months to do this. Why are we here? You sitting up here gaining weight. No. You've been promising me. You've been saying this and that. And this went back and forth. So they ended up keeping her in the hospital for a month because she has some problems. I think he said kidney problems and lung problems. So they kept her in there and they got her weight stabilized, got her down to lost 110 pounds. So she's down 110 pounds, right? So he's like, look, this your last chance. Look, go home, lose that weight, and I'll believe that you're serious. because the only thing that I believe at this point is the scale. So show me that you can do what it takes to be in this program. I'm going to send you to therapy, and you definitely need to go therapy and get some help. So she did. Lola comes by. They have a session. Lola told her that she needs to talk to her son, which it came out part of her, as she was trying to take care of the family, she sold drugs, and her son was currently incarcerated for drugs. And she's like, Lola told her she needed to talk to her son. So that was the visit with Lola. Now it's what month is it? Now it's month 8. And one of the scenes is pizza. I see a pizza scene. Anytime you see pizza on 600 Pound Life, it is not good. So she goes to Dr. Now's office for a weigh-in. Ambulance picks her up. She goes to Dr. Now. She's down 3 pounds. Dr. Now he was gone. He was like, this don't make no sense. You tell me all of this. You tell me that. He's like, I'm not doing this with you. You out the program. You're not serious. You out the program. You playing games. You say this, but you do that. He's like, you're not serious. I don't care if you move down here. And she's like, I'm going to get on the program. He's like, get on the program? You never was on this program. You've never been on this program. So he was like, I'm done. But when I tell you that Miss LaShanta begged, she begged and got her stuff. He was like, you know what? Whatever. He's like, fine. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Lose 50. She's like, he's like, I don't care. You could take 1 month. You could take 2 months. You could take 3 months. I don't care. Lose 50 pounds and come back. He was like, but I'm going to tell you this. If we send for help for you and you come out here and you haven't lost the 50 pounds, we're going to make sure you are in no immediate danger. And I'm sending you out of here, and we done final. Ain't no more begging. We done with you. And she was like, okay, thank you, Doctor. Now I promise I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to prove you're going to be like, you said I wasn't going to do it and I did it. And he was like, okay. Sure. I'm out of here. I think he even said that. I think he was like, I'm out of here. Or he said something like, see you later. Have a nice life. I don't think Dr. Now thought he was going to see her again, which honestly, I didn't either. Now that was month 8. I think month 10, we see her. She got a call. She called her son, which it was touching. I was so glad that she had that conversation. She called her son, the one that was in jail. And she was like, I have to tell you something. I'm so sorry. You know, I felt like you're in there because of me and the example that I shown to you. But he was like, you know what, Mom? It wasn't your fault. I made the choices that I made. It was all on me. You did the best that you could do. And she was like, you forgive me? He was like, I do. I was like, that was so hard. That was what a mother wanted to hear. That was so heartwarming. Anyway, so she saw Dr. Now in month 8. Now in month 12, she calls Dr. Now. They go get her. She goes in. He's like, now, you know what I told you. If you don't be at this 50 pounds, we done. So he puts the weight in on the bed scale. She lost 47 pounds. So Dr. Now was pleased with that. He was like, it's not the 50, but you finally learned how to do what it takes to lose weight. So I'm proud of your progress, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to approve you for surgery. Now, what he did was he was like, I'm going to approve you for surgery, but we're going to admit you, and we're going to get you really working with PT and OT so we can get you up, because that's going to give you the best outcome in the long haul, especially after surgery. So that's the end of the story. That's the end of the recap. We didn't get to see anything else, but I'm so excited for LaShanta. I'm so glad she didn't give up. It's so many times in this story that I thought she was going to give up. I thought she was going to throw the towel in, but she did not. She kept on going. She kept on pressing. So I'm glad for that. And I'm looking forward to seeing her in where are they at now. If you are still here, thank you so much for continuing watching. I promised you a surprise, and I'm going to stop talking. And I hope that you enjoy it. I'm out of here.
Today I'm going to be making my video. And I'm doing an exercising video. So let's get started. First, I'm going to be starting with squats. Then I'm going to do running in place. Then more squats, and then I'm going to talk about 600 pounds. So I'm going to be starting with squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4. Now, time for running. 1, 2, 3, 4, 28, 29, 20. Okay, now it's time to talk about 600-pound pet. Okay, now Dr.Now like not on my watch. Like he's like not on my watch. I'm not gonna do this. And my subscription is you gotta stop eating. And you gotta eat vegetables and stuff, and like tomatoes. And then like carrots, and then a little bit of carrots, and some more carrots. And you'll just be a really good shape. Really better shape. And then your surgery is weight loss surgery. And like, yeah. Subscribe to my video, hit the bell button, and make sure you don't have to subscribe, just you gotta find my name, Layla McLean. And please subscribe to my mommy's video. Please just find your name. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.